And we're rolling! Hello. So, about a couple of days ago, Valetta at Olivia Pope Fan on Twitter asked me when I asked what I should talk about in my Celebrating 100 Twitter Followers video, to talk about what I loved about Bellamy, Young, and Mellie Grant. So I decided that because it was probably going to be too long to have in that video, that I would make a separate video. So this is it. And technological problems withstanding, hopefully this will work. Just a fair warning to people who have a problem with language, like shit and fuck. I suggest you turn away now, because I'm going to get really passionate. And yeah, if you don't like that stuff, you can just minimize it, or exit out, or not watch. I also realized that I'm probably going to get some hate for this. But what the amazing Jen has helped me realize is that, well, one, the people who are going to hate on me because of this are probably, let's face it, a little immature. If you're going to hate on a 16-year-old girl over a character, which I have received before, so when I do inevitably get hate for this, even though I'm probably not going to say anything worth getting hate for, it won't be a surprise. And I'm not going to let those people ruin my fun. So I'm going to talk about the character and the actress that I love. And if you want to go shit on me, well, I guess I know what kind of person you are. So, let's get started. So, one of the things that I want to address at the beginning is Bellamy gets a lot of unwarranted hate. Now, wrote down a quote from an interview she did with Cosmopolitan Online. Now, this is the exact quote that is on the website, and I'll have a link in the down bar. So if you want to go read that article, it's a really good interview. Yeah, this is exactly what she said. When asked about the Scandal fandom, Gladiators, she replied, "I love them. They are like our family. The Gladiators are just so incredible, and I love live tweeting with the fans. However, I hate reading when people talk shit about me." Parentheses, Mellie. "So I tweet from my phone and have my laptop open to just my Twitter page. I don't look at my mentions." That's really sad that she can't look at her mentions on Twitter because people are so horrible. That says a lot. I really don't care if I'm not going to force you to like Mellie. I'm not going to force you to like Bellamy, but Bellamy is a human being, and do the decent human being thing and not tweet her hate. Just because it's on Twitter, do you think that she's not going to see it? No. You're hiding behind the cowardice of the internet and posting hate and sending hate to her so that it's so bad she can't even look at her mentions. She can't look at her mentions and see people like me and Nikki or Jen or Haley or a bunch of other amazing people talking about how much we love Mellie's scenes and how much we love Bellamy. She can't see that. It's harder. Like, she should just be able to look through her mentions and see that. It's horrible. So, I hope you're happy, people. Okay, so let's begin with Mellie. I love Mellie Grant. Mellie Grant is the first lady of my heart, queen of the universe. I didn't realize when I started watching the show that I was going to like her so much. But, as a lot of people have said, she's just amazing. Mellie is an amazing, well-written, strong female character that everyone should be applauding. And I get that there are a lot of people that kind of want to punch her in the face. But there are also a lot of other characters in the show that people want to punch in the face. So I asked a bunch of people, friends, people I know who love Mellie, what their favorite thing about Mellie was. And a very common thing was her ambition. That she's very ambitious and that she doesn't apologize for it. I love that Mellie is so ambitious. I love that she has her mindset and she wants to be a president. She's going to do whatever she can. And it makes me sad that she gave up what could have... I mean, marrying Fitz and being in a relationship with Fitz does have its benefits to her political career because of her high approval rating with the country. And I'm assuming, I mean, we don't, like, see personal interviews from, like, the people in the fictional scandal country in, like, USA, like, what they think about the First Lady, but I'm pretty sure that from what we've gathered in these episodes, that the public loves Mellie. So, yeah, she's got a lot of political capital, so that's great, but she knows that she wants to be president, and she's gonna get there one day, and if that means burying Fitz and dancing on his grave, then she's gonna do it. She's gonna call in all the groups, and that's fucking fantastic. And I love that she's just so ambitious. I mean, I don't see a lot of characters on TV right now that are just so ambitious and not apologetic for it. I don't think she's ever apologized for being ambitious. She just is. Badass. Mellie's a badass. I love that Mellie is such a badass. I love that she doesn't take shit from anyone. She doesn't let Fitz shit on her. She doesn't let Cyrus. She's gonna manipulate her way and be conniving and just be amazing and not let people stomp all over her and pretend that she's just like the fragile First Lady. Move out of her way. She's not gonna let you do that. She ain't got time for your shit. So, I don't see the problem with that. Another thing that, a great thing that Angelica phrased this, really well, she's more than just a romantic interest or heartbreaking, vindictive ex-wife. I can't remember what article this was that said that Mellie could have just been this annoying obstacle in the way of Olivia and Fitz's thing. But she's just so much more. Has so many facets and isn't black or white. And she's not like, it's like what they always say, the characters on Scandal are shades of gray. It's not just black or white. It's not like good or bad. It's a mixture. She does bad things and she does good things. She's just like every character on that show. Which, if you tell me that there is a character on that show that is perfect and angelic and has never done a bad thing, then I don't know how we're watching the same show. So you can get back to me on that. She's multidimensional. She's not just one thing. She's not just the First Lady. She's not just someone who wants to get Fitz back. And despite the fact that I don't necessarily like the fact that she loves Fitz, and I think that she really needs to get rid of Fitz, which is my personal opinion, I do realize that Mellie does love Fitz. Which is sad, because she deserves way better than him. And she doesn't pretend to be someone. She doesn't pretend that she's just this dainty, like, she's not like, I've heard a lot of things that say that Mellie could have been just this, like, fragile First Lady who was very bitter and horrible, and that's just all she was. She was just totally bitter at everything. And that's just not. She's more than that. She's mad at the state of her marriage and where she is in her life, and she's also incredibly ambitious and ruthless and badass, and like, she's not one thing. And a common complaint when I hear people talk about Mellie is that she's the worst character on the show. And by worst character, I mean she's done the worst things. Now, let me remind you that Mellie has never killed anyone, chopped off her ear, drilled anyone, put a hit on anyone, told anyone to have someone spy on them, strangled someone, killed someone with their bare hands, ordered a hit on her husband. So if we're gonna talk about, like, order of, like, characters and their good level, Mellie's behind Fitz, Cyrus, Verna, Hollis, Olivia, Huck, Charlie, Quinn, Billy Chambers, which is all I can remember right now. But still, that's at least 10 people. 10 characters on the show. Yeah, and Mellie's the worst. Okay. Your point makes total sense. Oh. She's very sassy. I love her sass. Especially when she's talking to Fitz, and she's just like, I guess you're just like a once around the ballroom type of president. And there's another great line, I can never remember this episode that she's in, where she says something like, I think she's talking about, like, a senator, like, leaving his wife or something, and she's like, I never liked his wife, but I guess he didn't either. And then she does this cute little head nod. Yeah. That's great. Her sass is, like, the best thing. I could go on to talk about Mellie for hours and hours. In the end, she's a really strong-willed character that, despite the fact that her husband's cheating on her and has this, and is just treating her like shit, Fitz treats her like shit, that she's still strong and ambitious, and she doesn't give up, she doesn't back down, she doesn't crumble to the ground when Fitz is a dick to her. She stands up, she's not going to take your shit, she's not going to apologize for being politically ambitious, and Mellie Grant will always be better than you. I'd like to, also have a bunch of things written down here. Willing to do what it takes is a great thing. That, she's gonna do what it takes. She's gonna do this, and if she'd be part of Defiance to get Fitz in office, she's gonna do it. She has to forge Fitz's signature so that Sally doesn't take over the White House. She's gonna do it. Yeah, she broke the law. She did it, because she had to do it. It had to be done. She's not gonna apologize for it. She did it. It's done. And a thing that I would like to address is because a lot of people like to say that by me loving Mellie, I'm supporting all the bad things that she's done. No. I don't think it's a good thing that she induced labor with Teddy. I don't think that's a good thing at all. But is it a good thing that she forged the president's signature? No. Is it a good thing that she was part of a voting fraud? No. But that doesn't mean that she's a bad character. That doesn't mean she's totally horrible. Because on that show, none of them are all good. So, if you're gonna say that Mellie, who's done a couple bad things and she's just unapologetically ambitious and strong, then, okay. So, let's move on to Bells. I asked a bunch of people what their favorite thing about Mellie and Bells was, and the most thing for Bellamy was she's sunshine. Bellamy Young is like human sunshine. It's just like, I don't think it's possible for me to, like, be sad if I look at her face or read an interview. She's such a sweetheart. And she takes her time to, when she's tweeting you, to go to your page just to see your name. Now, my name isn't in my Twitter handle. And most people, and there are a lot of people who that's not the case. But in order to see a name when you're responding to a tweet, you have to go to the person's page. You have to click on their name to see their name. You have to click on their Twitter handle to see their name. Bellamy has tweeted me, like, a bunch of times, and, like, most of those times, she said my name. She didn't have to, but that's how nice she is. That she just, like, takes the time for her fans because she's just a sweetheart angel face. And it's so adorable. She's also such an amazing actress. And the fact that she's even on, like, people's dream nominees for the Emmys is just making me cry and have all these weird, proud mama feelings for, like, for her, because she deserves that. You can't watch her performance and tell me you weren't riveted when she does her monologues. The monologue she does in, I believe it's 217, when she tells Fitz to deal with it. That's probably my favorite monologue on the show that's ever been done. The range of emotion that she goes through that whole scene, her now I'm blanking. Her face that changes when she does the scenes. It's when she goes through the speech. Like when she talks about Jerry and Karen, and her voice just drops and she gets all soft when it was like kind of like a strong kind of half yell before. It gets all soft. And then her facial features change. And she just goes through that monologue. That's a long monologue. There aren't that many shows, I believe, that have such an opportunity to do great monologues like that. And it's wonderful to see that. Another thing was her laugh. Bellamy's laugh is like the cutest thing in the entire universe. It's like, I can't even describe it, but it's just like angel noises. Her southern accent is so cute too. The way how she says "oh my stars," like just like a general thing, like that's just a thing that she says like every day. Like she's just an adorable southern belle, and it's so really cute. She also can sing. That woman can sing. While I don't really want a Scandal music episode, because that would be really weird and I can't really see that happening, I'd love to, she's, hopefully working on an album, so that's exciting, and I can't wait to see where that goes, so I can hear her sing all the time, so, or just rewatch the videos online of her singing at, like, the Dodgers game or something like that. The thing that Lolly mentioned was the fact that she's a total sweetheart even when people on Twitter or interviewers are being particularly shady. That's the thing that I have a problem with people that, not everyone, I'm not saying everyone, I'm not, like, naming people out, but I'm just saying, there are a lot of people when they interview Bellamy, how you can tell that they're just being blah. And she's a total sweetheart about it. She doesn't let it get her down. She has nothing but praise and admiration and love for the show she's on and the rest of the cast and the fans. I mean, I'm pretty sure in almost every article or interview, she talks about how thankful she is to be on the show and how much she loves working on the show. It's so amazing that she just is so upbeat and cheerful all the time because she's just so happy. And I would be happy if I was in her position. Yeah, I mean, addressing the whole Twitter thing with, like, she said in a bunch of interviews that she's like a backwards Luddite child and she doesn't really know how to operate Twitter, which I think is kind of endearing. But the fact that despite that, she still tries her best to talk to as many fans as she can on Twitter on Scandal Thursdays and tweet as many people as she can and just like be an absolute doll. I love that about her. I love all those things about her. I could talk about her for forever. My grandma one time asked me why I love her and Mellie so much, and I went on for a good 20 minutes before she was like, okay, I get it, and I wasn't even a quarter of the way done. Another thing I realized I forgot in the Mellie section that I'd like to address is people who say that she's a bad mother. Now, the only opinions we've got on Mellie being a mother is from Fitz. And you can obviously tell that he's somewhat biased in this thing. Yes, Mellie said she doesn't like babies and she induced labor with Teddy. That doesn't mean she doesn't love her children and wants to protect them. If you watch the monologue in 217 and you listen to it and you actually pay attention, you can tell that she cares about her children and she doesn't want them to be in that house with Fitz. We don't know if Karen and Jerry, because they don't exist. I'm kidding, they exist. But, we've never seen them. And obviously Teddy can't talk. So it's not like we have an opinion on her as a mother from Teddy. That they hate boarding school. I've seen so many people say that they hate going to boarding school. We don't know. Karen and Jerry, they may love boarding school. They may love it. I mean, there was a point in my life where I thought that boarding school would be the coolest thing in the world. Maybe they love it. And maybe if they don't, maybe they realize that their mom is looking out for them. We also don't know if Karen and Jerry hate their mom. I don't think Karen and Jerry hate Mellie. It seems to be this weird consensus through a big portion of the fandom that Karen and Jerry hate Mellie. I don't know why people say that. We've never met them. We've never had any interactions with them before to show that they would. We just have Fitz's opinion. And obviously, for a good portion of this season, Fitz was in a funk. And I think Fitz is still in a funk. I'm not going to discuss Fitz. That's a whole different topic. I don't think Mellie loves her children, and she wants the best for them. And she wants to look out for them. And if that means that her children have to be in boarding school, she's going to do that. Because she does what has to be done. She doesn't want her children to turn out like Fitz did. She doesn't want her children to resent their parents. So if she didn't want Karen and Jerry to hate Fitz, so she said they didn't have to come, then she obviously doesn't want them to hate her either. She probably doesn't want her children to have the same childhood that she and Fitz had. We don't know much about Mellie's childhood, but I'm assuming since she comes from old money that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. So yeah, I really love Mellie and Bellamy unapologetically. If you want to have a discussion with me over their characters, a rational discussion, I'll totally be up for it. But hating on Bellamy because you don't like Mellie or her, and putting it on Twitter, putting in the tag, is fucking ridiculous. And it upsets people that love her, because I don't want to see stuff like that. I'm not going to tell you that you can't have an opinion, and you can't say stuff like that. But try and be respectful and be a good human being. Because I'm 16, and I've had 40-year-old ladies tell me that I need to get my head screwed on and that I'm immature 12-year-old because I like Mellie. That doesn't feel good. But that doesn't make me stop loving them either. So, I know. Mellie and Bellamy are amazing. Bellamy is such an amazing person that I'm just so grateful that I fell in love with the show and have had this opportunity to just watch her career kind of take off and be recognized for her amazing work and just for such a sweetheart that she is. And Mellie's amazing, and I will continue to love Mellie, and I can't wait to see all the stuff that is going to happen in season 3, because it's going to be pretty exciting after that finale. I love Mellie and Bellamy. Probably more than most things on the planet. And I've met so many amazing people through loving them. So while there is a very small group of people that do love Mellie and Bellamy, it's not huge. I mean, it's not tiny, but like the people who like really love Mellie, it's not like I can't name you all of them. I mean, I could name you the majority of the people I see daily who love Mellie and Bellamy. I mean, that can't be all of them. It's not like I'm talking to all of them, but it's not like exponential amounts of people where I'm just like, oh, I can't even possibly name. And it's really sad, because she deserves all the love in the world, because Bellamy is an angel-faced sweetheart princess, and I love her a lot. So, that concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. The links to, I also want to thank all the amazing people who love Mellie and responded to my thing. Lolly, Angelica, Sarah, Jen, Nikki, Visionary Watering Hole, Scandalholic, Ray 1447, Honey-I'm-Home, NK, and Forget Me Not Donna Noble. Thank you so much for your telling me what you think is what your favorite thing is about them and why you love them, and